In the world of MotoGP, not every practice session tells the story of pure dominance. Sometimes, even the greatest champions reveal their human side, their struggles, and their moments of doubt. This time, it was Marc Marquez, the 8-time world champion, who openly admitted his confusion after a dramatic Friday practice at the twin-ring Motegi, Japan. The Ducati Lenovo star entered the Japanese round with high expectations. Motegi, after all, is a circuit filled with memories for Marquez, where he has celebrated world titles in the past. Yet on Friday, September 26, 2025, things did not start the way many fans anticipated. For a full 60 minutes of practice, Marquez fought hard just to break into the top 10. His first attempt at a time attack was far from impressive. Stopping the clock at 1 minute 43 seconds, .958 seconds, it wasn't enough to place him inside the crucial 10. The Spaniard knew something was wrong. His body language showed it as he returned to the garage, shaking his head and speaking quickly with his crew chief, Marco Rigamonti. The second outing, however, told a different story. With only minutes remaining, Marquez dug deep. In one of those classic never-give-up moments, he unleashed a lap of 1 minute 43 seconds, .360, catapulting himself into the top 3 by the end of the session. The relief was visible, but the truth came out later when Marquez spoke to the press. "Today was strange and complicated," Marquez confessed with honesty. "The sensations I felt were not what I expected. We were a bit lost, especially during the afternoon session. We wanted to find the right feeling too quickly, and that desire led us into mistakes." It was a rare admission from the legendary rider, who is often known for his unstoppable self-belief. But this is what makes Marquez's journey fascinating. Behind the fearless image of a rider who risks everything, there lies a man who battles with doubts, with setups, with changing track conditions. What saved him in Japan was not raw speed, but something far more valuable: experience and composure. In the final minutes, we managed to recover. Experience told us not to panic, and keeping calm was the key, Marquez added. For his fans, this honesty is emotional and inspiring. To see a champion like Marquez, who has conquered pain, injuries, and countless crashes, still struggling with confusion, yet turning it into strength, is a reminder that greatness is not about perfection. It's about resilience. As the weekend continues, the Motegi story is far from over. Saturday's qualifying and Sunday's main race will reveal whether this moment of struggle was just a temporary cloud or a warning that Marquez must adapt quickly. One thing is certain: Marc Marquez has once again shown that even in confusion, his fighting spirit shines through. And for MotoGP fans, that is why his story continues to capture hearts around the world.
Andrea Dovizioso calls Marc Marquez a nightmare for rivals. He's the complete package. What if your greatest rival had no weakness at all? That's the reality of MotoGP 2025. Every weekend, from the sprint to the main race, one name always dominates: Marc Marquez. His rivals can only push to their limits, yet somehow the Spaniard always finds another gear. Former MotoGP star Andrea Dovizioso, who fought Marquez countless times in epic duels, has now shared a sharp opinion about the Ducati Lenovo rider's current dominance. In his eyes, Marquez has become the nightmare of the paddock, a complete package who makes his rivals nervous even before the lights go out. Marc Marquez is leading the 2025 MotoGP Championship with 512 points and needs just 3 more points to officially seal his 9th world title. This consistency throughout the season has been astonishing. From high-speed power tracks to technical layouts, he has proven untouchable. For Dovizioso, this kind of performance is the hallmark of a once-in-a-generation rider. He is strong in every area. That's the problem. Apart from being better in certain aspects, he is strong everywhere, Dovi said in an interview with Motosan. Dovizioso explained why Marquez is such a threat: mental toughness. Marquez never loses focus. Whether starting from pole or recovering from the midfield, his ability to stay calm under pressure is unmatched. Physical strength. After years of injuries, Marquez has rebuilt his body. His stamina and resilience over 25 laps are now back to their peak. Technical intelligence. Ducati's Motegi GP25 is complex, but Marquez mastered it almost instantly. He understands how to exploit aerodynamics, ride height devices, and tire management better than most. This rare balance of attributes is why he is almost unbeatable in 2025. Yet Dovizioso also pointed out a dangerous flaw: Marquez's inability to hold back. The negative side is that he can't restrain himself, as he has admitted, and that's dangerous. He has had many crashes and has been lucky to escape with only minor injuries, Dovizioso added. Indeed, Marquez's philosophy has always been to push to the absolute limit, even if it means falling in practice or qualifying. While this courage often wins him races, it also puts his career at constant risk. In modern MotoGP, speed alone is not enough. You need the whole puzzle: machine, strategy, and mindset. Ducati already provides the strongest bike, but Marquez adds something unique: an intimidating presence. When riders see him in their mirrors, pressure builds instantly. Those ahead know he will dive into any gap, those behind rarely find a way past his relentless pace. This aura makes Marquez not just a competitor, but a psychological wall his rivals struggle to break. With the championship nearly secured, the question is no longer will Marquez win, but rather, who can stop him in the future? Dovizioso's warning about his reckless style is valid. One bad injury could derail his dominance. But if Marquez balances aggression with control, MotoGP may be looking at an era where the Spaniard surpasses even Valentino Rossi's legendary legacy. For now, as Andrea Dovizioso summed up, Marc Marquez is the rider everyone fears, and the nightmare of MotoGP 2025. Marc Marquez edges closer to Rossi's historic record. The San Marino Grand Prix at Misano turned into another chapter of Marc Marquez's relentless pursuit of MotoGP greatness. After a painful crash in Saturday's sprint race, the Spaniard rose with the heart of a champion on Sunday, delivering a dramatic victory in the main race against Valentino Rossi's protégé, Marco Bezzecchi. This win not only marked Marquez's 11th victory of the 2025 season, but also solidified his position at the top of the championship standings. At this point in the season, with only a handful of races remaining, it feels inevitable: Marc Marquez is on the brink of sealing the 2025 MotoGP World Championship title. If Marquez does secure the crown, it will be his 7th world title in the Premier class, adding to the 6 he already holds. That would place him alongside the legendary Valentino Rossi, who also has 7 titles in MotoGP's top tier. For Marquez, who last tasted championship glory in 2019, this achievement would symbolize not only a triumphant comeback but also a validation of his enduring greatness. Yet, the mountain remains higher still. Standing above both Rossi and Marquez is Giacomo Agostini, the eternal icon of motorcycle racing, with 8 Premier Class championships to his name. If Marquez can maintain his current momentum, even that seemingly untouchable record could one day fall. Sunday's Misano victory carried additional weight for Marquez's personal journey. It was not just about the win itself, but about resilience and redemption. Crashing out of the sprint race and facing the jeers of a crowd filled with Rossi loyalists, Marquez had every reason to fold under pressure. Instead, he responded the only way he knows how, by fighting back. The duel with Marco Bezzecchi was nothing short of spectacular. Bezzecchi, riding with the determination of a true heir to the Rossi legacy, refused to give Marquez an easy path. Lap after lap, he pushed the Spaniard to his absolute limits. But in the end, it was Marquez's mix of experience, bravery, and unmatched racecraft that carried him across the line first. With this victory, Marc Marquez also reached another milestone, his 125th career podium in MotoGP. The record, however, still belongs to Valentino Rossi, who stands at an untouchable 199 podiums. The gap remains at 74, but given Marquez's resurgence and consistency in 2025, fans cannot rule out the possibility of him closing that distance in the coming seasons. For Ducati and its passionate tifosi, the San Marino GP was also a moment of pride. Hosting a home race with record-breaking attendance, Misano became the perfect backdrop for Marquez's statement win. The fact that he achieved it while riding for the iconic Italian brand only amplified the emotions felt across the paddock and grandstands. As the MotoGP circus now shifts its focus to Japan, the question is no longer whether Marc Marquez will win the 2025 championship, but when. And once that happens, history will remember the season as the one where Marquez not only dominated the track but also climbed shoulder to shoulder with the giants of the sport, Valentino Rossi and Giacomo Agostini. For the fans, it is a privilege to witness this moment in time. For Marquez, it is a chance to cement his place as one of the greatest riders MotoGP has ever seen. Marc Marquez crushes Aprilia boss Massimo Rivola's hopes after Misano showdown. The Misano World Circuit once again witnessed a thrilling clash in the 2025 MotoGP season. Aprilia Racing, led by Marco Bezzecchi, came into the weekend with strong hopes of finally conquering the dominance of Ducati and Marc Marquez. But when the checkered flag dropped, those dreams were shattered once more by the relentless brilliance of the Spanish superstar. Throughout the season, Aprilia had been steadily improving, with Bezzecchi showing consistency and speed that caught the attention of many. His performances in practice sessions and qualifying at Misano fueled the optimism of team principal Massimo Rivola. Rivola believed this was the perfect chance for Aprilia to finally celebrate victory on Italian soil, in front of their home crowd. Bezzecchi's pace was undeniable. From the early sessions, he looked sharp and confident, pushing the Ars GP to its limits and outperforming many of his rivals. Rivola's confidence grew as Bezzecchi secured strong grid positions and looked ready to fight for the win. However, as has happened before, Marc Marquez stood in the way. Known for his fearless racecraft and unshakable determination, Marquez wasted no time applying pressure on Bezzecchi. From the very start, he shadowed the Italian's every move, waiting for the smallest mistake. The tension on track was palpable, as the two riders pushed each other lap after lap. For much of the race, Bezzecchi held the lead, his Aprilia roaring in front of the passionate Misano crowd. But Marquez was never far behind. His aggressive yet calculated style eventually paid off when he executed a decisive move to overtake Bezzecchi. Once ahead, Marquez controlled the pace, leaving no chance for his rival to recover. The heartbreak for Rivola and Aprilia was undeniable. This marked the third time this season that Aprilia's hopes had been crushed by Marquez, despite their constant improvements. While disappointment filled the garage, Rivola chose respect over frustration. He admitted that Marquez's talent was on another level, but vowed that Aprilia would not give up. Marc once again showed why he is such a difficult opponent. "We gave everything today, but it wasn't enough. Still, I am proud of Bezzecchi and the team. This is not the end, it is only the beginning of something greater for Aprilia, Rivola said after the race. Though the result stung, Aprilia's journey this season has proven they are no longer outsiders. With Bezzecchi's consistent performances and the Ars GPS development, the gap to Ducati and Marquez is shrinking. Fans and experts alike believe it is only a matter of time before Aprilia finally breaks through. Meanwhile, Marquez once again silenced his critics. With every victory, he proves that his hunger, skill, and resilience remain unmatched. In Misano, he not only destroyed Aprilia's dream but also reminded the MotoGP world that he is still the man to beat. The San Marino Grand Prix added another dramatic chapter to the 2025 season. For Aprilia and Rivola, it was heartbreak. For Marquez, it was triumph. And for fans, it was yet another unforgettable duel that showcased the beauty and brutality of MotoGP racing. The San Marino MotoGP 2025 at Misano was more than just a race. It was a story of resilience, pride, and redemption. Marc Marquez, after facing a storm of criticism and hostile Tifosi reactions during the sprint race crash, turned the entire narrative upside down by winning the main race in spectacular fashion. The atmosphere had been tense since Saturday. When Marquez crashed out of the sprint, sections of the Italian crowd erupted with cheers and mockery behavior many considered disgraceful. Yet, instead of letting negativity weigh him down, Marquez transformed anger into motivation. On Sunday, he answered all the boos in the most powerful way possible: victory. And this victory did not go unnoticed. Among those who were left stunned was Casey Stoner, the two-time MotoGP world champion and Ducati legend. Stoner, known for his sharp insight and respect for true talent, spoke with admiration about Marquez's Misano masterpiece. Marc was simply insane out there. The way he kept pushing Bezzecchi, lap after lap, with no hesitation, it was terrifying to watch, in the best sense. His ambition to win was crystal clear, and he never lifted off the pressure. That was the Marc Marquez we all know, a relentless fighter, Stoner said. For Stoner, it wasn't just about Marquez's speed. It was about his mental toughness. To face hostility from Tifosi and still deliver a flawless race in their backyard was nothing short of remarkable. No rider deserves to be cheered at when they crash. It's against the spirit of MotoGP. What Marc did was the perfect answer. He didn't argue, he didn't retaliate, he just won. That's how a true champion silences the haters, Stoner added. The main race itself was breathtaking. Marco Bezzecchi pushed hard on home soil, but Marquez's consistency, braking precision, and sheer willpower made the difference. Each lap felt like a statement. He would not be broken by negativity, nor by the pressure of the Misano grandstands. When Marquez finally crossed the finish line first, the crowd that once mocked him fell silent. What remained was a scene of poetic justice, an athlete proving himself not with words, but with undeniable performance. For Stoner, this was a lesson to both Tifosi and the racing world. Rivalries are natural, passions are strong, but respect must always remain at the core of the sport. Marc slapped the critics with a victory. That's the mark of greatness. People can dislike him, but they can never deny his class as a rider, Stoner concluded. The Misano 2025 weekend will be remembered not just as another race in the championship, but as the weekend Marc Marquez conquered more than a circuit. He conquered doubt, hostility, and hate with the elegance of a champion.